I think we need to be 100% honest with ourselves that episode 23 of season 2 of that Tsukimichi greatness was almost a one-sided massacre. It was definitely a one-sided beatdown, but it would have been a one-sided massacre without struggle if Makoto wanted it to be. This boy barely lifted a finger and reflected every single attack, and when Sofia finally got through that gelatin defense of a physical manifestation of mana, he rebuilt it. If he didn't like Io and wanting to keep him around because he thinks he's valuable, he would have been dead. Instead, he gracefully and in his nice heart team rocketed his ass and said, he's blasting off again, now I don't have to kill him. Rona went from dominant dommy mommy energy to submissive, please daddy, I'll leave, I don't care if you kill her. Do you want to meet my boss? And the only reason that Sofia is still left standing is because he's nice enough, but we're reaching the point where she isn't gonna back down. I'll be shocked if she does. So she gonna die probably next week. And if not, I'll be shocked because she does, like, initially, when it should be obvious she's outclassed, her response is, I'll kill you. I don't see like someone like this backing down when she's so okay with dying on the battlefield. Makoto is him, and while Rona made a grave miscalculation about the type of person he is, as we can see with him unfiltered, ever since that tournament and how his students got screwed over, he stopped giving a fuck. There's no other way to put it, man. Like, he's him. And him gonna beat yo ass. Full live reactions to that Tsukimichi greatness over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and get thought to any of these episodes, it's gonna be over there exclusively. Next week is gonna be fun. Shiki versus Sky, I'm not sure, like, I assume we win. I'm not betting against that, but I'm interested if it will be a little more evenly matched, because what we dealt with in this episode was a man literally standing there with his arms crossed, and the few times he lifted a finger, laser beams of death started blasting. And I love the idea that his whole mantra for this fight is, I'm not going to show all my cards. There's no reason for me to. There's no immediate threat. And for if some weird miscalculation I was to reveal it, and that information got out, it would be detrimental to him. So the idea that he slowly busts out a little more as it goes on, like, oh, you actually managed to cut through my jelly armor. Sure, now we'll start blasting you with lasers. One wasn't enough? How about 20? Okay, she's hiding behind a rock. Actually, these bad boys can curve. It's not a singular straight shot. It's just the longer it went on, the more you realized that this man could be one of the biggest menaces to society. And the only reasons humanity and demons aren't wiped out is because he doesn't want to. But God help anyone who truly gets in his way, especially when everyone's been such a dick to him. But it was great. For a one-sided beatdown, it was surprisingly entertaining. Because I don't remember any time I've seen like a physical manifestation of mana in this way. Like, sure, there's been styles of like, hey, this is how you kind of like view mana and stuff like that. But the idea of increasing your mana output to the point that you can make it into something like that is next level. I'm not gonna say like the color design for it is anything remarkable. It's kind of gross. It just kind of looks like, you know, could we have made it, I don't know, like a blue or red or something? I don't know. It's just, it leaves a lot to be desired color-wise, but the actual shape and form of it is just so cool. It's like he's in a mecha suit that's made out of jelly mana. That's honestly how I view it. And I think the fact that it is transparent makes it cool because you actually get to see him inside it rather than just like, you know, how you'd have to be like if it was like an Iron Man level suit, you'd have to see his face only sort of a thing. Just so cool. And honestly, like, I'm always a fan when characters who are actually pretty intimidating or have a level of confidence that you're like, okay, you know, if they speak to us as equals, that's going to feel really impressive. Rona, she messed around and found out, but the idea that it was like it was a different character, because as she's powering up to help her girl, She immediately says, "No, Daddy, that was a miscalculation on my part." Her VA was not scared in the way of like she was screaming in terror, but it was this like, oh no, I miscalculated who this guy is. He feels like a completely different person, and if this is what the beast is, deep down inside, I do not want to cross him. And it's so fascinating to watch two very different perspectives observe this fight. Forearms wants to throw hands because he's like, hey, I don't think we should fight this guy. He kind of bodied me. But if you're gonna fight, I'm gonna help her. And the fact that he just casually shows like, hey, big guy, you're not the only one who can have multiple arms. Now go blast off again. It's just the more it went on, the more I said he's him. He's freaking him. And I don't know. Like, I'm not saying for sure she's dying, but the only way she doesn't is if she stops throwing hands. Because our boy has actually restrained himself quite a bit, and he's given more warnings than most would. The scene, though, when she's talking smack, and she's saying, actually, that hero's better than you. That hero's this and that. I'm thinking she's just trying to get under his skin. And then he comes in swinging, I guess even you can get manipulated by his persuasion. And I'm like, ooh. It's not bad enough that he's like physically disrespecting you with what he's able to like deflect off you. Now he's even digging into your mind. I believe it, but even if it wasn't true, it's like the best diss ever. No matter what she screwed, it's true he actually was able to persuade her and kind of influence her, which is an insult in itself. Or it's a lie and he just made her pissed off just because. That's hilarious no matter which way, and there's no recovering if you're her. The more I watch of the second core of Season 2, the more I say this is Tsukimichi at its peak. I really hope, because we have 2 episodes left of this season, that Season 3 won't be quite as long of a delay. Now, granted, COVID did play a factor in this taking an extra year or so, but hopefully, you know, Season 3 gonna be around the corner, because we're at a really interesting stage, especially with kind of an agreement with the goddess and just where it's gonna go. I need more, and I don't think I'm alone saying that. But let me know what you thought of this almost one-sided massacre, and the only reason it wasn't because of our boy pulling his punches. Let me know down below what you're feeling. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout-out. So today we got Jacob McDougal, Tanisha Brown, Hat Guy, Sage Narf, Andre Cannon, and Real L Chill. So I appreciate the support, everyone. And please take care, and y'all have a good one.